Final review, Unit 6. Example 1, you need to simplify, okay? Remember that this top number represents your power or exponent. And this bottom number represents your root. Very good. So when we rewrite this, how do I do that? The cubed root of 27 squared. Cubed root of 27, can I break that down? Yes. 27 breaks down to 9 and 3. 9 is 3 and 3. So I need 3 for a group. So I have exactly 3 3s. So this makes 3 squared, and 3 squared is 9. Questions? Okay, example 2. You want to get your exponent by itself. So what will I need to do first?
Divide by 5.
Very good. Divide by 5 is correct. So I have x to the negative 1/2 power equals 15 divided by 5 is 3. There's a couple ways of doing this, but probably the easiest way is you want to get x by itself. You want to get rid of negative 1/2. How do I get rid of the negative 1/2 exponent? Take it to the reciprocal power, which would be negative 2 over 1. So that means I'm taking 3 to negative 2 over 1 power, or just negative 2. So all that cancels out. What do I do with 3 to the negative 2nd power? Yes, because you can't have a negative exponent. So I'm putting this over 1, and I take this to the denominator. So I have 3 to the 2nd in the denominator, and 1 would be on the top. And then now you can simplify that, and it would be 1 over 9. Okay, any questions there? All right, example 3. They tell you what f of x is, and they tell you what g of x is. When it says find g of f of x, that means you have to start inside first and just find what f of x is. Do we know what f of x is? What is f of x? Good, 2x plus 5. So that means this is going away, and now I'm finding g of 2x plus 5, because f of x is 2x plus 5. So what do I do to find g of 2x plus 5? Good. We go to your g equation, and I'm taking this and plugging that in for x. So that means you're going to write 3. Instead of x, I'm writing 2x plus 5, and then I have minus 7. So we distribute here. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 5 is 15, and then I still have minus 7. And so that simplifies to be 6x plus 8. And that is my answer for A. When you're finding, do you have questions on that part? Sorry. Okay, find g of f of 3. Again, you always start with your innermost parentheses. So I'm finding f of 3. So that means with my f equation, I'm plugging 3 in for x. So that means I have 2 times 3 plus 5. 2 times 3 is, and 6 plus 5 makes. So now instead of f of 3 is actually 11. So that means now I'm finding g of 11. So we go to our g equation. My g equation is 3x minus 7. But instead of writing x, I'm going to write 11. So we have 3 times 11 minus 7. 3 times 11 is, and 33 minus 7 makes 26. So my answer for B is 26. Okay, example 4. We have different f of x and g of x. They want us to add them together. So that means we're writing this out. X squared plus 5x plus 2 plus 2 times x plus 1 squared. what would we need to do first in this problem? Good, you need to multiply this out first. You can use your box if you want to, or you can do it in your head. But this will end up being 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 1. Because 1 plus 1 makes 2, and 1 times 1 is 1. Then next we need to distribute the 2, right?
Yeah.
Before we can combine like terms. So we get 2x squared plus 4x plus 2. And then I still have all this other part from the beginning. And so your last part is just to combine your like terms. So I have x squared and 2x squared, which is 3x squared. We have a 5x and a 4x, which makes 9x. And then I have a 2 and a 2, which adds to be 4. Example 5, find the inverse. How do I find inverse? Switch x and y. F of x is really the same thing as y. So in order to find the inverse, we exchange x and y. So I will write this as, good job, x equals 3, y plus 5 is correct. And then you're just going to resolve this, but we have to solve it for y. Y. Good. Subtract 5 to both sides. So that means I have x minus 5 equals 3y. And in order to get y by itself, I still need to... Good. And since this original problem started with f of x, do you remember what I'm going to write? F to the negative 1 of x equals x minus 5 over 3. Okay, and last but not least, example 6. State the domain. How do I state the domain? Good. Your denominator cannot equal 0. So we take our denominator, we set it equal to 0. X minus 5 equals 0. Add 5 to both sides, and we get x equals 5. So what is my answer for my domain? Good. All reals except x cannot equal 5. And that is your answer. Any questions?